Happy people. I hope everyone is doing well today. Interesting topic, how to be set apart. I think that that's one of the things that society deals with is being unique. Being uniquely you. I have a t-shirt. You can check it out on the website. It's not a plug-in. I'm just putting it out there. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Sometimes we try so hard to fit in that we don't really discover how to value not fitting in at all. Maybe it's that I'm different from other people and we want so much to be like that person or be like the popular people. We never really discover maybe not being popular but being just me is the best popularity that one can gain, because where people always are shunning things that are different, people don't realize that sometimes being different is the thing that people love and learn to value. What do I mean by that? I'm going to use singing for an example. You have all sorts of different singers. Very often when you hear a person comes out that sounds like Beyonce, the first thing you're going to say is, she sounds like Beyonce. Why? Because Beyonce has set the standard of what Beyonce sounds like. You might say, oh, they sound like Anita Baker. Why? Because Anita Baker has set the standard of what Anita Baker sounds like. And so I often say sometimes in counseling that God doesn't need a carbon copy. What he needs is the original, because it's the original, a masterpiece that people are going to love to like or love to learn to like or whatever. Different has always been shunned. And we look at, oh, because I'm different, I'm going to shun it. But we don't look at the fact that different can bring its own value. It can bring its own trend. We set aside that ugly is ugly and beautiful is beautiful, but I know some beautiful people that have some ugly attitudes, and I know some ugly people and ugly in people's minds that have some beautiful personalities. So we shun things that are different. In high school, he could play ball, and I wish I could play ball like that. But then the same person sees that you can sing and they're saying, I wish I could sing like that. The differentness, it may gain him a popularity in his ball playing, and it may gain you a popularity in your singing, but yet you're valuing his stuff more than you're valuing where you're at. So the question is, being set apart. How do I learn how to value that? God made no mistakes. That's one way to find it. Another way to find it is to learn how to cultivate your uniqueness. Let it make a statement, whether people like it or not. Let it be your statement in the earth. I'm different because my uniqueness I thrive on is, talking truth. Because you don't have a lot of people that want to do that. You have a lot of people that want to give you a version of a truth, but not the truth. They want to, oh, do you think this dress looks nice on me? Rather than telling them, no, you're too big for that. They'll say, oh, I think that's just your size. Why would you send that person off? I'm just using that as an example. Rather than telling the person, hey, hygiene is necessary. You'll tell them, hey, would you like a piece of gum? Those little, those things. And so I strive on just being honest. And some people think my honesty is a brutalness, but when you've been lied to half your life, you learn how to appreciate the truth. But that's my uniqueness about me. And so most people that try to come and change me to conform to something can't, because I've learned how to live in this place of truth. I've learned how to be set aside and be different from it. And I think you could too when you learn how to value what it is that God has made you uniquely to be. So to be set apart does not necessarily mean that something is wrong with you. It means this is your time for you to execute greatness and what God has made you originally to be. I have a son that is autistic, and he began to make himself believe sometimes that, he was different and that he was never going to amount to nothing. And it wasn't until he actually seen this program on TV called The Good Doctor that he actually really started discovering that his uniqueness is not so unique. His uniqueness is a uniqueness that can overcome many obstacles. Has he mastered it? No, he has not. He still is. He's young. He's still learning how to master life. But my job as a father was to continue to cultivate greatness in him. We didn't hone in on or use his autistic as a crutch. We used it as an ability to speak loud and speak proud about it, because even though he's autistic and there's a lot of autistic people, he's the only autistic person that's like this autistic person. But it's hard to stay committed to that card that life has dealt you because you're still trying to fit in other worlds. The frustrating part about trying to fit in other worlds is that you were never made to fit in that world. You were made to fit in the world that you're in. So rather than me come and try to visit this world and try to make myself of reputation in this world, how about mastering my world, my universe, what God's given me, and letting that make its reputation? You know, you talk about American Idol. I'm using that as an example. Well, because we idol that person and we want to be like that person. Why? Why? There's nothing wrong with admiring and want to go places where people have been, but to be like somebody, why? God made you. And so what you're essentially saying to God is that you made a mistake, because I should be like this person instead of being like the person you made. You tell me how that works for you. You continue going down that life. Let me see how that works for you. Not gonna work for you, because God doesn't need a carbon copy. He needs an original to get his plans across. So being set apart is not a bad thing. How do I learn how to deal with being set apart? Embrace it. Embrace the uniqueness of it. Embrace the differentness of it and own it. Own it without any apologies. Own it. Cultivate it. Love it. And let it become the greatness of you. I'm Jay Stone, and I approve this message. We're going to do it on purpose, in purpose, with all power. Okay?